motherfucking you had to have that motherfucking you had to have that motherfucking you just had to have that record. And anybody put a finger on it, man, you go crazy.
Hey, traders. Good to see you on this Sunday where your typical price action is occurring. What's typical? Chopping between levels for months now and just testing 19,650. I mean, after failing to break down, can't be that surprised that it's run up to the next level, up and down. I mean, you go to the daily, you can clearly see it's just like, oh, in between 18,650 and 20K roughly. I mean, certainly kind of a rectangle, right? You see from the low point to the high point here. That's what you got going. So you haven't broken anything yet. You haven't, I mean, 19,650 in 1 penny. That's like to the penny. The candle high close from 2017. So third time. And you haven't even made a higher high yet than the October 18th high. So it's cool that this is all happening, but I mean, rejoice for bulls. They need a win. I mean, we'll give them today because, you know, most time bulls can only settle for 1%, 2% moves. So congrats. But it doesn't really change anything yet. It's cool to see what Ethereum did. Broke a supply line. Let's go to the daily. There it is. I mean, where's Gandalf? My God, did I get rid of Gandalf? What happened to him? I don't know. He's on sabbatical or something. Not around. Well, Gandalf did it, man. He held the support. You shall not pass, and now you're pushing the price back up to the next level again. Down and up's all that happens. So just show you visually. So you can, there it is. Oh my God, December 16th, 2017. What were you doing with your life? What was happening in your life? The date Bitcoin closed at its highest level ever, but little did we know at the time it was going to be the all-time high for a long, long time. Well, you're still below that, despite you testing it for the 18,000th time, right? And of course, and here's the thing, you've got the right angle descending broad information. Then you got, it's not invalid yet, man. It can't be invalid yet until it breaks below X, really. And then you got the 113 chance. You know, I mean, it's not dead. But there's just so much work that needs to be done, you know, before you can truly say it's playing out. And one interesting difference in the Binance Tether chart to the Coinbase US dollar chart is you can see that the Binance candle high close, you are above it. 19,106 here, but 19,798.68 is the high on Binance. So that's a small difference that I don't know how significant it is, but it's holding that level. And okay, so we had a poll. We had about like 56% of y'all thought that the right angle descending broad formation would play out. That means we dump in time. And the shark, you had about what, 44% of the people who participated in that poll saying that this would play out, which means like this would happen. Neither of the two have played out yet. So the verdict is still out. The jury is still out on who's going to win that poll. But these are super tough conditions to be thinking about longs. But hey, futures, stock market futures doing okay. You have earnings on deck too. So it's just really, man, oh my God, dude, just have fun with the amount, the layers of variables, the layers of things that could go wrong or right to cause moves. It's super choppy water right now. And it's not always like this, man. It's just we're stuck in this extended period of 4 months where it is like this. So we're just having to endure this together. Eventually this will change. We'll catch some real direction soon in time. It's just right now, midterms coming up, what, 3 weeks? All kinds of political tumult in Europe. The war with Ukraine and Russia. You know, China having, you know, problems. And, oh, Xi Jinping's now, you know, going to be the premier for the 3rd time now. And sacked his political opponents or whatever live on TV. You know, all these things are going on. The deglobalization stuff happening, right? Where like Biden passing some crazy law. I mean, it's not crazy. It's just like a very significant law that's preventing any U.S. citizen in China from doing chip work. And if they continue doing chip work, then they would lose their US status, their citizen status. And so tons of people are coming home. When have we been this active? And a crap load of variables globally happening that could be really bad, all happening at the same time. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Choppy waters, two ideas on Bitcoin, bullish and bearish. I'm inclined to be more bearish because the trend is overwhelmingly bearish still, but my God, it's lost over 70% of its value since the top. So anytime you start doing that, I mean, like, of course, squeezes can happen. A squeeze at any time right here happens and it goes to 27K. It's still in a bear trend. Still in a bear trend. I mean, you have to take out previous major highs. You're not even close to those. So yeah, some of us remember the times when, oh yeah, everything lined up together. How about the summer and August, September, October of 2020, where everything in the world on charts on all time scales was screaming upside on Bitcoin. There was no bearish argument really that you could manufacture based on charts. There wasn't one. That mean I miss those days. Because now it's like, dang, dude, you can identify potential bullish argument or bearish argument here. And you're starting, the longer you stay here, I'm thinking like maybe maybe just the partial rise is still valid, I guess. But dang, man, there's just not enough selling pressure. Nope, not enough, man. DXY is going up. Yeah, we can look at this. I was just spending a little time talking about everything going on and how you just, if you're a long-time viewer, you get it. I mean, it's been pretty easy on the way down, but it's just getting every time we leg down massively and consolidate for so long, always a chance you can catch one of those counter trend moves, and it's still long-term bearish. So you might be at one of those points. Okay, here's your Ethereum that you were thinking 1,020 and time in 886. That's still, you got to understand, Ethereum could break 1420, go up to 1650, 1600, and still be in a long-term downtrend. It would still be, you could top out anywhere below 1780, and it's going to be a lower high than the previous high. And this is still going to be a valid potential structure. But yeah, great move today, up 4%. You can see your supply line there breached pretty hard, and now you're just testing the high from October 6th, September 27th, September 20th. And where you are, I mean, you think, hey, the distribution argument was there, like lower highs, but now you pivoted at 1266 perfectly, and now you're rallying. So what if you go to 1420? Okay, you're in between two levels, so if it goes to 1420, I'm not going to be that surprised, man, at this point. The British pound more volatile than Bitcoin at this, I mean, lately, yeah, the past few months, certainly. I mean, 4 months, absolutely. Bitcoin's not volatile. I mean, though you got to understand, sometimes it is, though, locally. I mean, there was a period where we had like 12 different 6% swings in like 2 days or a day and a half or something, in between all this chop. I mean, it does get nuts. But we're talking about directionality wise, where it creates a structural development and then you have big moves. It's just been a long time since we've had that, really. So, all right, that's Ethereum. Let's go back to Bitcoin, look at the weekly, then I'll go back to Ethereum, we'll look at the weekly. Just to show you contextually here, it's like, if you look at the weekly, John Travolta, like, dude, it's like, what? Who? Like, what happened? Nothing? What happened on the weekly? I can't even tell, man. I got to get my microscope out to see. Now, one thing that's, I mean, who cares? But it will be the highest weekly candle close since September 5th. All things stayed the same in about 44 minutes. Nice, that's 6-week highs or something like that. And truly on the weekly, you will be closing above the weekly, the weekly close from December 2017. Maybe it's only visible on the weekly. Interesting. So that is one silver lining, I guess. One silver lining on the weekly is you're going to close above that weekly close. As you tried to October 3rd, the week of October 3rd, and you've been below that for virtually a month or 5 weeks.
Mitchie, please tell me to are watching Pulse Dogecoin, it's nuts. Make sure to check out Pulse Bitcoin, I really think the founder guy might be onto something. Thoughts?
Hey, what's up, man? Hey. What's up, Kushbon? Since 20, dude. Yeah, we'll look at Pulse Doge. I can't even say it wrong now. Pulse Doge Chain. Pulse Dogecoin. One of them, dude. We'll look. Thank you, dude, for the daily contribution. Thanks, man. Where was I? Look, man, someone's like, is this not the perfect time to go long? Again, bulls have arguments, technically. Bears have arguments, technically. I think both sides have arguments here. The slight edge goes to bears because the long-term trend is bearish. But, my God, you've been selling off since November of last year. We're going on a year downtrend. So anytime you're so extended like that, a massive wave up, squeeze could happen, and you'd still be in a downtrend on Bitcoin long-term. Even if you rallied and went to $27,000, it would still be a downtrend when it topped out there. So it's just like, sure, man. I mean, Gandalf, he's preventing the price from going lower than $18,950. But it's just like, it's not always going to be, oh yeah, it's so easy to see, I mean, like the altcoins to me, it did look terrible. They did look really bad. Some of them were breaking supports, but on a day like today, the altcoins rallied, and I think they're starting to get back above the support. It's just too much controversy, man. Very, very controversial stuff. Okay, Ethereum's weekly, that's right. So look at it. Well, this is pretty significant compared to Bitcoin, I would think. So remember what happened. You fell below the 200-week moving average in September, late September. Then the first week of October, you engulfed bullishly, got back above the 200-week moving average. Last week, tested below it, scaring everyone, then closed somehow above it miraculously. And again, but now look at this. I mean, you're at 1360. Wow, 1367 on the weekly chat. This is a good contribution to your time if you're watching, so you're just like, oh, I'm aware of this now. If you weren't, you might probably are. You're on top of it. But the weekly candle high close was 1366. 1360. It was 1365.46. Started making that perfect right there. So you're technically above that, and you might get a weekly close. You're so close it may not, but it's just right there, man. Very, very interesting. But the long-term downtrend's there. But hey, man, if you pivoted here, you'd make a substantially higher low than previous low. It's just you're doing something kind of nice here on the weekly, right? Candle high close and 200 moving average above both of them at this current time. Okay. BNB's up 2%. Remember, it was just like, hey man, up and down, lower highs, same highs. Now you're pivoting, slightly higher low. Now you're, gonna make your highest daily candle close since the 9th in 40 minutes if all stayed the same. There you go, man. Have fun. Hey, have fun. Yeah, swing trading. Have fun with this. Have fun. There's not enough liquidity in the system to actually give you directional moves for profit taking up or down. Now it's just done. It's just stuck. Wow, fun market. It's like hits the PCZ and then just performs kind of moderately, then spends months just at that moderate performance level and just does nothing. But cool dude. BNB, everything holding on. DGB's down today. What? Your weekly. I mean, it doesn't look like the weekly, does it? It looks like the 5-minute chart. It's just the moves are just dead. It's like a dead market right now. It's been a dead market for like 2 months. Okay. BNB, then XRP. That, hey man, nice. Never broke the neckline. Shouldn't even be there on the weekly. Weekly below the 200-week moving average. Nothing that significant here. Daily though, pretty cool to see it holding the 200. Kind of underperforming Bitcoin and Ethereum bad today, right? But nevertheless, just hanging on. I mean, the buyers are defending this level for now until something changes. And a new week could very well usher in new price action. So be cognizant of that. That's 37 minutes from now. So that, that classic bearish divergence is played out. And now we're starting to get this potential argument for a hidden bullish divergence, right? Kind of. Depends on the low. It's very, very close to not being there, but these are all happening at 886s. So it's not going to be as good of a time to find tops when you've already lost 88% of your value. I mean, on the year, dude, the whole way down, the whole year we've been here. Now we're there, and it's like they still look like crap, and barely anybody's buying them. I mean, this one's an exclusion a little bit lately, but just most of your random S coins they've lost all their value. They're at those 886s globally, and they've stopped moving. They don't move anymore. They're just like illiquid. The liquidity is gone out of the system. So XRP and then Cardano. Cardano's up 3%, trying so hard to get back above 36 cents, which is high from 2018. Was it on the weekly though too? It was the weekly. Now that weekly candle high close from April 2018, still just below it. One thing's about to be confirmed on Cardano, unfortunately, is like you had a bearish engulfing candle, and now you're going to close this week lower than the bearish engulfing candles close, which is normally really bad, like terrible. It's like confirms the bearish engulfing's validity. So, hey man, you're at a kind of a battleground area, I guess, in the weekly, but yeah, I think there's a little bit more downside before maybe a reaction. 28.7 cents for the deep crabs completion zone. Not quite there yet. There's no edge either, man. Like, this is the last one you'd want to be buying, I think. I mean, like, if you were going to buy something, it might be Bitcoin because the shark and stuff, or it might be, I don't even know about the altcoins, man. I mean, I get it. Like, just for instance, like we were looking at Dash, look at it. It's like holding the support, man. It's like doing it for now. But God, it's just still such weak price action at the support for so long. You just think it's a trap, and you shouldn't be getting this long. You shouldn't have 5 weeks plus of an opportunity to long at $40 roughly. It's just normally not how it works before big rallies occur. This type of price action at sports. So, but buyers are defending it, man. They are defending the area where if you break it, it's over. It's like massive drawdown, like insane amounts. Tenderfoot, it certainly could be, man. I mean, it's just an unfortunate occurrence. I mean, we never act like we know where an asset's going, but the longer we just sit at these levels when there's two arguments, one bullish, one bearish, it's really tough to navigate. And I'm just talking about all the macro stuff going on, and elections and political turmoil in Europe, and the political turmoil is everywhere, man. yeah, this is the epitome of like boring. I mean, boring price action. I look, dude, Doge, it's up 1% today. It's been up 1% like every day. No, and it's like, how can me as a analyst of traditional technical analysis, how can I even provide you with value with the market so dead? And I think that's like why viewership goes down, everything goes down, right? The metrics for what I do, it equally correlates to the market volatility and liquidity. It's like, what, you know, I'm showing up every day, I'm trying to, and each candle represents a day here. I mean, what? You can't even genuinely trade it. You can't, man. I mean, like, unless you're, I mean, not the way that it's been taught. Or a swing trader, position trader. You can't trade this stuff. It's just. So I get it, man. It's demoralizing for sure. On my side, with what I've been providing for 5 years, right? To just roll out in the sunset until market conditions improve, at least with liquidity or volatility or something, man. Doge, and then we can look at DOT. That, hey, man, of 1.7%. Great. Still think 550. Then after 550, probably 359 when all said and done, man. That's it. Just getting rid of this too. It played out well though, in the end. Oh, you can see that butterfly here too, kind of, in ways. This could play into the more downside argument. Where now you're just shifting it, yeah, butterfly. Yep. 1272. Not too far off of it, yeah, like 494. Be the target on the butterfly on DOT at this point. Okay. You know, then it's just like, I know Jeffrey had pinged me about AVAX, where it's like win bids, win reaction, win something. Well, it's up 3.89%, but I don't know if it's enough. So Deadman Boy Bounce, thanks for the 11s. Win tradable, yeah. Like, call me when it happens. I mean, call me when we can get swings. You know, after a wave down and you hit levels, like, call me when there are enough market participants back in the market to where we catch movement on an 886 that actually does something, you know, significant. Where you are just sitting there and it's like, win bids, win reaction, triple bullish divergence. It all implies upside next, but isn't really gone up. It may not go up, dude. All right, well, I mean, that's, you know, that's what I'm saying. It's like that's the stream, dude, for updates. Matic broke out. Yeah, kind of. Someone was like, "Hey, is that a wedge?" Like, kind of. It was also like 3 peaks that were lower, but you know, I've plotted it for them, and you broke out. You've been back tested the breakout, and now you're about to have your highest daily candle close since September 12th, and cracking back into this major inflection point that you'd been failing. You would break 94 cents. It could go straight up to $1.20. Hasn't happened yet, but hanging on, looking pretty good here. Matic, this is one that partnered with Disney. It's been chop zone, kind of a rectangle, 72 cents to 98 cents. Look, you can see momentum shifting a little bit. It's not perfect by any means, but still, the lower low, the lowest low, then the higher low. NEO's up 6.5%. This is the one that was like, hey man, this is just for education. You know, if it 886 of a shark, it kind of it definitely exceeded the PCZ of that, but didn't completely break the hop or anything. But supply line kind of breached in ways, and you're back above. I mean, you're at the bottom of the range. You're back in it, $8, where you weren't though. For over a week, you had fallen below it, $7.97. You were below that for a week, and now you're back above it. It's like, okay, there was no follow through from sellers yet. So more questions to be asked. Is this a low risk entry? My God, maybe. Go to Sol. Forgot about Sol. That yeah, I'm thinking still. You got yourself a butterfly pattern completion zones at 20 bucks, 2025. I think you're just having an update. It's an illiquid Sunday market day. It reacted with Ethereum, reacted with Bitcoin. Number go up, but you can't even tell. Like, just wait, man. So many things that could go wrong this week. There's so many things that could happen this week that could make the markets rally too. So have fun with that, dude. This is real casino hours. We're about to be in real casino hours with earnings week on deck. We're talking like the biggest companies in the world will be reporting. So again, I've talked about this with earnings coming up. Like, you think they're going to be abysmal. They probably aren't going to be good, man. They're probably going to be terrible. But the terrible might already be priced in because they've been dropping like a rock the entire year. So bad earnings, random stupid pump. Doesn't make sense, but you know, it will make sense maybe in 4 or 5 weeks from the report this week when they break upward and then crap out in, again, a week or 2 or 3. And then they roll over after making a lower high and make lower lows. But some shorts get squeezed, blah, blah, blah. You know how it works, right? Yeah, ExxonMobil, they hit all-time highs on Friday. Reports this Friday coming up. Yep. So it's like, what's going to happen with that, man? Is this going to propagate upward, or is this going to crash downward? You just don't know, man. Where things were pretty uncertain, now they're getting indubitably uncertain with earnings. Okay, so even crap like Filecoin, man, it's like, oh, it's done for, right? It's screwed. It's hitting all-time lows or whatever on this chart, and just hanging on, just getting back in the support. Okay, what was it, wedging? Yeah, probably. Here we go, man. Controversy. All the controversy you could ever ask for, right? Oh, it's a wedge, man. It's a wedge breaking out now, I guess, right at the bottom of the range. All right, pump it to 723. But is there even enough liquidity in the system to get it to 723? I have no clue, man. These are dead markets, dude. Dead markets right now. There you have it. I mean, that's oh, look at that. Triple bullish divergence too. On FIL, it's like pretty much certified scam, dude. But dude, the technicals, they're there for upside, it seems. Sellers tried and they failed immediately, right, to break the price down. Oh man, right. I'm looking at the deep crab still in Bitcoin. It's there. It's just like there's a lot of things to look at. Yeah. He was asking, like, you're not looking at the. I am. I still am, dude. It's still an argument that is not dead by any means. These are all like. So you have the shark idea, you have the right angle ascending broadening formation idea, but also the right angle. This is on the bear side. This is on the. If one plays out, they'll probably both play out. Like if the right angle ascending broadening formation that's pictured plays out, the move is probably going to take you to 1618 based on the B point and the lower high on C. All right, so it just really like helps you gauge where we're going now. And if you look at Bitcoin price action from history, it makes all too much sense. But I mean, sometimes you just have to be like, man, we know this could go either way at this point, and we know targets for both ways, depending on what market participants do. And I know that, again, like that's not like providing you necessarily with that much value right now. But again, it's like, what do you want from me? I've been here 5 years, man. Many of us have made life-changing gains on the way up. And now it's like on the way down, just trying to preserve capital. The problem is it's been so much down for so long that now it's like maybe you're a little limited. Maybe there is a short squeeze that happens, and that happens all the time. It can, and just pointing out fact, there are arguments for bulls and bears. Stronger for bears, marginally. About the poll, about like you'd say the poll. It's a pretty good test of that, where you got 56% of people think that we're going down. This will probably play out, and then you got about 44% of y'all think this plays out, where it goes up and you probably at least test 22.3. All right, so. But I'll tell you this, man. One thing's certain with all this uncertainty. One thing is so certain, and that is what Bitcoin is. Like, Bitcoin's, to me, I think Bitcoin in this new climate, it's priceless. Bitcoin's priceless, man. Like, there's nothing that's ever existed like it. Authoritarianism and governments is like, I've never seen in my lifetime anything like what we're seeing now, with governments grabbing power so aggressively, weaponizing departments of the government that used to work for the people. Never seen so much censorship, so much cancellation of people and their money, people getting, judge rulings, $1 billion. Someone has to pay, things like that going on. I don't give a crap if Bitcoin goes to 15K, 12K, 30K, 50K. It doesn't matter, because there's nothing like this thing, okay? There's no CEO. Ethereum's got Vitalik. Okay, we know him. Go read some of the stuff he says on Twitter. He's out there, man, and he's maybe not even for, founding fathers of the United States. He's probably not on board with that based on what he says all the time. So that's Ethereum. That's your second largest crypto. Bitcoin's different, man. Bitcoin's its own thing, and you can say, oh man, but Bitcoin Cash or 18,000 other jokes. Nope, they're nothing compared to Bitcoin, man. Sorry, the trust is here. And that's why it's like, hey man, we just have to, in the times of uncertainty like this, we just gotta understand, I think fundamentally, it doesn't matter if we go to 14K, doesn't matter if we go to 25K, doesn't matter if we stay at 20K forever. This thing's pretty much priceless. All right. Yeah, central planners, by the way. One thing I didn't do, sorry, let's go to total real quick. But no body bags today.
I like turtles.
There it is. The supply line has been breached. It was even kind of back tested this weekend, right? And you kind of broke it, skated along it, and now fall through, but still no higher low. Are you kidding? Come on, dude. You're testing it. Traders are not settling up above it yet. We have 20 minutes. But October 18th, 4-hour close was 901 billion, and you're at 898 right now. So let's do something, man. I mean, if it is a second, that's what I'm saying, man. I mean, hey, this thing could go to 959 now. It's very much range bound. You see the massive range. So, and even if it's not that range locally, it's at least, 938 to 850 in between these two levels. So there is upside here. It's just going between two key levels. Yeah, we go to the DXY that's open again. Someone, last week it was amazing. Super happy and pleased with, who was it? Yeah, we're gonna get to that one request of Doge Chain Pulse coin. Yeah, it was Adrian A asking about this massive uptrend on the DXY, which, oh yeah. I know there's a lot of lines, man. A lot of stuff that goes back to, a million years ago and stuff. All right, we can take some back, but you can just see here with 1 and 2 and 3 on the top and 1 on the bottom, 2 on the bottom. This multi-years. I mean, this goes back to March 2009. You're hitting that over bought level of the uptrend. So a pullback here. makes more sense than anywhere else. If you are paying it, if you care about or you respect this channel's sloping supply line, this is exactly where a reversal could happen. And it may not last long. It may just pull back significantly, but it doesn't mean your uptrend's broken. I mean, if you're looking at it like this, the uptrend doesn't technically really reverse till you fall below 89.93. You know, anywhere this thing retrade, it could go down to effing $100 on right? Because there's no discernible swing low on the DXY. This is one wave up. So you could come all the way back down to back test $100, $102. Things are going skyrocketing, right? Melting face, cryptos, other currencies, whatever, and it pivots and months later it rallies again. But yeah, pretty interesting where we are. Is this supply line where the top gets put in, at least for the midterm, short term? Maybe it's put in a lower high now finally, and you know, let's go one little swing low at a time. 110 to get taken out first. Why way? Well, I guess probably not enough people know about that. All right, so I don't know what anyone was smoking, saying it was going up. I don't see any up. It looks like down only right now. Down 0.3% in less than an hour. It's the DXY, man. So, you know, all your currency's going up. And this dumping's great for Bitcoin. Like for the shark argument, if this does this, you know, just to hit the heart line maybe before then later, months later, it eventually does this and melts face, whatever. My God, that's going to take Bitcoin probably to stupid levels, like 25K or something. If this all happens, and that's going to be great for the index funds, individual assets, the euro, the pound, the yen, everything. Everyone in the world's going to love this DXY topping out at a supply line. Hasn't really topped out yet, but it's starting to look like it may be. Okay. So what has someone said? Buy assets when DXY is high, sell when it's low. Well, not necessarily, but I will sell you something I've had plotted for years now. So we had identified, hey man, what was going on the DXY on the weekly when Bitcoin was topping out? Well, one thing that was identical, and this happened this time too, even more so, was the oscillators were telling us that sellers were exhausted. End of the Bitcoin bull cycle right here. There was bullish divergence developed and we had a big run. The end of the 2017 bull cycle, right? There was very real, undeniable bullish divergence. And on this time, we had triple bullish divergence. It was incredible with the shark PCZ, oh my God, type 2 return. It was legit, an incredible setup. This is what you'd be looking for on anything in the world. If you were blessed with a harmonic, type 2 return, confirmation low, and triple divergence, that's value, that's everything, that's the dream. And it played out so unbelievably well. But now you're hitting that supply line, and this pulling back here, this is probably the least surprising place you should ever, this is the least surprising place where a pullback happens. It's not just the supply line. It's you're so effing close to an 886 from the low to the high. You virtually hit it, man. 115 right there. That's an 88% retrace. A major one. So supply line, major 886, massive run. I mean, it all makes sense for potentially a short-term pivot reversal here, but fundamentally, I don't know what's really going to change the DXY. It'd all be technical. This would just be technicals. It would have nothing to do with what the governments are doing or the Fed's doing. No one's changing any policies. No one, UK doesn't even know what they're doing. Like, oh, we don't even have a PM, man. Oh, Boris Johnson. Nah, maybe Boris. Never mind. No Boris Johnson. We'll find someone else, dude. Like, so until those things get resolved, I don't know how this really reverses this overall trend. There'd have to be massive intervention. The Fed would have to pivot or something, I think, before the overall trend reverses, but doesn't mean it technically can't pull back for the heart line to run again. So the futures, S&P 500 futures. Okay, so you did have a weekly bullish engulfing candle, massive. And what was discussed on Friday was, and this is great, if you get a good week here, you got to have a good week. But now, at a very real level, a 200-week simple moving average, you look at 2018, excuse me, where the rally occurred off of that. You're making a low, you're making a slightly lower low, but you're holding the August 2020 high. And that engulfing is very real right there. Look what happened last time you engulfed for real, like an engulfing June of 2022 this year. It eventually turned into a scrub rally, and this could turn into a rally too. But if you hold on here and you could close with indecision, just up and down and close right around where you closed last week, you're really going to be starting to develop that bullish divergence argument here, where impending price action reversal is implied. Okay, for a little bit more significant rally, that could happen, man. And all the futures are very similar. Right, your Dow Jones weekly, same argument, man. Like undeniable bullish divergence in development now. You see it. I mean, it's there on both oscillators, right? A low, then the lower low. You're about to go positive again. You held on to, the 2020 high. You're above the 200 moving average, right? If a more significant rally happened on earnings because everything's been destroyed, okay. You're getting help on the technicals for a relief rally on a weekly time scale. Russell 2000. Oh man, it's even more insane here because you have legit triple bullish divergence. We just look at the DXY showing triple divergence on the weekly, and now you have an index funds future showing triple bullish divergence on the weekly. Right there, 1, 2, 3. And what's really interesting about it is it's not just showing triple divergence, it's trying to get back above for the second time, trying to get back above the highs from 2018 and the high from 2020 before the COVID crash. Very interesting here, right? It just means like your downside's starting to look more limited, even if it's gonna crash. There's technicals starting to contradict your impending crash stuff because it's kind of implying impending reversal. But it doesn't mean it's gonna really reverse and we're gonna go to all-time highs. It doesn't mean that. It just means like it could be a little bit more significant of a wave up if this plays out. NASDAQ futures, clearly a level, weekly level. I mean, that's it though, right? Nothing till 9,700. That's a joke. This is your last line of defense. Guess what? Buyers defended it. And of course, you got that same type of weekly bullish divergence going on here on a, let's look a wave down, smaller wave up, a smaller wave down. It's like a dragon, premature harmonic. It's showing all the stuff before the C wave always ends. This is the type of stuff you're looking for C waves to end. And we know the cutoff. This whole argument becomes probably completely invalid when you fall back below 10,938 for real. Look how it got back above the 200-week moving average. So there is hopium for bulls now. And I'm showing you on the chart, There you have it, man. 9 minutes till your weekly close. If you're enjoying it, like button, bell, sub if you want. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't help me grow. Nothing matters anymore, dude. I don't think so. Gold's below the 200-week moving average. Bearish engulfing candle a couple weeks ago. Still real, still active, and nothing like the index funds. Nothing. Weekly, no edge. If it goes up, it's just I mean, it's just probably going because the DXY is dumping or something. But if we're talking about technicals, there's no reason there's no reason to even have hopium on gold. There's hopium now on all the index funds. You just saw it. Hopium, weekly hopium. Wow. Interesting. Gold, not interesting at all. That's it. All right, until you start getting back above like 1678, 1700, and you start showing me a real discernible edge, like that seller exhaustion, it's just not there yet. So you probably want to wait. And if you were gonna do something, wouldn't one go long on an index fund because it's showing that those things they're above key inflection points again. They failed to push it below it. They got back above it, engulfed bullishly, weekly divergence, and then you go to gold, and it's like none of those things are happening on this. So yeah, I would rather, if you made me, if you're like you have to pick between gold or an index fund, definitely an index fund. Okay. Hello? Sorry. Let's just knock out this pulse chart. Beautiful. About to have your second highest weekly candle close of all time. I mean, my God, man. What happened on Friday? Wow. Look at that rally. It's still super strong. I mean, at this point, it looks pretty probable you're gonna test 884, like daily candle high close from August 6th, the all-time high. Whoa. Decibel levels can be tricky, man. And again, we have a target that of 1140. If it's gonna break all-time highs, 1140 is your first target. And then I would say probably your second target is 1386. And if you wanted to get insane, you're way too early. This is your Moon Boy target. $21, $20.98. That's it. But yeah, beautiful M shape 886 somehow miraculously is respected here. How is an 886 respected on traditional markets? And then markets that aren't even real, really. It's just like the Pulse Doge chain market. Somehow the 886 right there, it's perfect, and you reverse from there insanely. And like from hitting that Scott Carney bat pattern, the asset's up 230% in 37 days. Crazy, man. Less than 5 minutes. Thanks for the nearly 700 people tuned in. We're just looking around at assets that have, you know, with futures and the cryptos today and stuff like that. End up looking at the commodities tomorrow. They're not really open yet on my side. But just going back to like random coins like, I mean, Atom, yeah, it's starting to bottom out, and you can't argue. It's so real. Like, I mean, an asset that went on this nice run, it's almost like an ABCD's in development. Look at all this divergence. The low, the lower low, about the same low. You just got lower levels every time, and now you're going positive, and but you're still below that 200-day moving average, but it's just, I wonder, you gotta wonder, man. Like if the bullish argument played out on Bitcoin, are we talking about something like low to high, 50% retrace so far. don't know. I mean, like, it hasn't caught enough fall through yet, but are you talking about an ABCD or something, you know? Just like an A, a B, a C. My God, if this was the bottom, it says 58 here. I mean, you're talking, good God. 1.8 would be a 1.618. My God, right? Could be crazy. It's, you know, if the divergence plays out, it's at least going to attempt to rally and go up high to low, at least 786, 886, probably, maybe 618. But hold on, man. Everything's just holding on. Look, like EOS hit an 886 and is certainly reacting there. And this crazy, watch, I'll show you. From the low to the high, 886. It's not just like it tested it one day on a wick and that was it. You never saw it again and it's begun to reverse. And you know what? That's a bat, man. That's a bat pattern. Had it a lot before, but look, man. It's there. It's reacting perfectly at it for now. Absolutely crazy, right? Certainly diverging, right? It's showing with the low and then the lower low at the 886, showed the divergence, okay, and now it's up. Kind of wild, right? Bring in some controversy. Yen going nuts. Wow, dude, yeah, they intervene, man. They're defending their currency. They have to. I'm sure all the currency pairs right now are doing well, right? If we just looked at the DXY starting to sell off, it's like they're all going to correlate well to that. Just waiting for a move, man. Like, I'm trying my best to like get through these dead markets. You know, it's compared to other market conditions we've had over the years. This is certainly dead markets, dead market conditions. Just like, and your value is just getting more and more limited for downside based on what we know about how long the trend's been going down. Just, yeah. Your probability steadily increases the lower you get that a squeeze happens, you know, and still ends up becoming a lower high. My God, this thing could go up to 240 and still be bearish, and it'd be undeniable. Like stuff like DGB, man. Like, what in the world? Like, hey, man, we're just going to test it again. It's so real, like 7.6 tenths of 1 cent to 8.2 tenths of 1 cent. It's like this level that below it is death. And you're just here testing it again. And you're holding it for now. That's the same situation Bitcoin's in, really. I mean, same situation a lot of coins are in. Yeah, Matthew D. Talking about DGB is like the bat symbol for Matthew D. Matthew DGB. ETC though, thinking the 886 is coming. It did this weird, you know, route. Like, this is what I'm talking about. You know, just if something happens where all these coins like run up massively and then they rival the previous high, but not really. They only make 886, 786s from the previous highs. It's still a bear trend. That's what I'm saying. Like, Bitcoin goes to 27K. It's still a bear trend, but so I'm trying to just like, hey, and now you have like triple bullish divergence on Ethereum. So how does it get to the 886 with so much seller exhaustion here? At least on the MACD Instagram. Tough to say, but it is below 24 bucks, which I think is really important. Above 24 bucks, you go to $40 again, but below it, probably going to hit the 1670 mark. Even like some like KCS that had that, you know, really tough to discern. Was it making higher lows? No, it was just a bearish bat pattern. It rolled over, and now it's just making the same. It's still making lower highs. It's not good until it breaks 1080. All that divergence, man. So much divergence everywhere. We've got, oh, no, sorry, man. Weekly close, man. There it is, man. All right, we got a weekly close. The highest weekly candle close on Bitcoin since September 5th. You did it, man. You did it. Here it is, highest weekly candle close, so you can see it. You closed higher than you did September 12th, so here's September 5th, that week. It's done, man. But you're below 19,891, but you're above the weekly candle high close of 19,382. So if you think, hey, controversy, man, there's still so much controversy. Like we're saying, I think marginally, probably going down next, but if it goes up, I'm just not going to be surprised at this point because there's arguments both ways. We have earnings going on. Everything's been devastated for a year now. And when a swing comes, you know, and it still ends up being lower than the previous major high, whatever. If this plays out, not going to be surprised. If it dumps, not going to be surprised at this point. All right, that's about all I can, I don't know, man. That's like all I can stomach today. It's brutal, man. Like, I don't even know how other streamers do it that are covering these markets. They don't know they're not losing their mind. So you get it, man. You get it. 2 arguments. One bearish, one bullish. Hint of bearishness because trend's long-term bearish. But we got earnings and what everyone thinks is going to happen. The inverse is probably going to happen. So, all right. Upside on the shark, I would say your minimum target, you would think is like 22.5 again. Yep, 22.5 there. But I'll tell you this soon shall pass. This dead market, we're going to get directionality soon. So just be patient. I mean, my God, if you're still here, you equal patient. If you're still watching the stream, you're a patient person. Yeah. Huh. All right. So I'll leave you with the shark chart. So makes you feel better. And just if you're in an individual asset, you better be checking it. Make sure your earnings aren't this week because, dude, you're flipping coins with earnings going on. And those earnings are going to flip. You know, the coin's going to flip. It's going to land on a side. And it's going to drive the markets. And in turn, going to drive the directionality of Bitcoin. So could be up, could be down here. I'll be back. Thanks, Dead Moon Boy and Kush Blunts for the 2 contributions today. And I'll just be back. Till next time, respect the TA.